Welcome to Crypto Wars with your boy CryptoKeeper. I got to figure out a new intro line. I was thinking, lots of changes happening with the show. And yeah, so fan, chat, if you guys think of it, if you guys just think of a really good intro and you like it, drop it on my X page. Either jump into my Telegram and my DGen group or go over to X. And if you're not already following me there, make sure you follow me there and drop maybe a new tagline that you like. Because I am searching the inner realms of my brain for a new tagline. So good to see everybody. Hopefully everybody is doing well. It is a beautiful Tuesday, 2 days away from, that's right, my next trip. I am going to Colombia. Super excited about that. Actually, I'll talk about that in just a minute. But it is Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, we talk greater fundamental what's happening, not just in these markets, but globally. And other markets as well, because whether you like to admit it or not, the other markets matter. So who better to bring on a day like that than my boy, Army Piper. Army, good to see you, brother.
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Doing well, doing well. Glad to see you. I am excited about the show today. Hopefully we can dissect what's happening in these markets and help people figure out a way to be prepared. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. How do you best be prepared when things get a little wonky? And I would say, from talking to some people, things got a little wonky. I don't know if you heard, good friend on the show that's on Trading Wars, Jenna X, suffered a big loss. And I was sad for her because nobody wants to lose a lot of money. But I think from talking to her a little bit further, right, I think she did learn something from that in terms of maybe not having the cross margin set the way that, you know what I'm saying? Like there's always a learning opportunity there. And so we want to help you guys avoid some of the mistakes maybe that we can make and, help you out with it.
There's gains made in every trade, whether it's a win or a lose, there's
That's
a
right.
gain made. You either gain profit or you gain knowledge and experience. So,
Unfortunately, I've gained a lot of knowledge and experience and not as much profit. So we're working on that. Crypto fam in the chat, let me jump in and say hello. Who we got up in here? Oh, OC guy was first in the house. Glad to see you, OC guy. Killing it. They call him the weatherman over on Trading Wars. If you guys aren't watching Trading Wars Mondays and Thursdays, make sure to check it out. Thursday this week is actually going to be Friday because, like I said, I'm traveling on Thursday. That's going to be Crypto Blood, the 1v1. That's going to be Crypto Blood versus who's he going against? Blood is going against TradeFly. Yeah. Blood's going against TradeFly.
Piper Academy.
That'll be fun. One of the Piper Academy in the 1v1, and then the following Monday we will be back to normal. And on normal schedule. I won't be here, but we will be streaming. So who else is in the chat? So OC guy, good luck to you. Bedredden in the house, Caffeinated Crypto. Hola, good to see you. And I need to be saying hola. Necesito hablar español porque estoy en Colombia. En breve. No, en breve is Portuguese. I'm going to be in Colombia soon. I need to be, speaking some Spanish, right? Get back to my
working that Spanglish.
That's right. I actually do speak pretty good Spanish. So Spanish and Portuguese, those are my things. Jay in the house. Obviously, we've got Army Piper here. Anybody else that I missed? Clay the freaking Great. What's the word? Clay the Great. That might be part of the tagline, maybe. What's the word? Welcome to Crypto Wars. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper. That's not bad. What's the word?
Come for the beard, stay for the crypto.
I like it. See, this is why I bring people on the show. Creativity, get the juices flowing a little bit.
Right. Come for the beard.
Come for the beard. Stay for the crypto. Let's make some money. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper. I like it. I like it. I think I'm going to take that, Army. Thank you. You could say maybe come for the you might say come for the TA, knowledge and money. Leave with maybe a lesson on how not to grow hair. Kind of be the opposite side of that, since all of yours has been missing. Hey, let me ask you a question. Are you bald? Like are you bald or I mean, a lot of guys
I get this little island of hope right here, but I'm thinning out a lot of
the island of hope, dude. So glad that you said that. I want to say this for all of you out there. If you are holding on to that island of hope, this is advice. Okay. Don't, because commit like Army commit. He said, you know what? It might be an island of hope, but the hope is not. It is not real. Like, it's not coming back, and it's okay. And you look good bald. freaking own it. Ugh, I've got some people. I don't want to say names because maybe one of them watches the show, but that's holding on to that island of hope. And every time I see him, I'm like, what a good looking guy. Get rid of that shit. Like, let's just commit.
No, keep it shaved. Keep it shaved. Keep it clean.
I like it.
I do have my little patch going on here.
That's right. You can grow hair, just not up here. It's
correct.
Here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And
let's check out
I seem to grow it around the side.
But dude, that's everybody that goes bald. It's really strange. It's like here, and then maybe the little, here, and you can see it happening. You can see it start to. A lot of times, it's like that. What do they call it? A widow's peak or something? Like the little triangle starts to form, and it goes farther and farther back, and then it's like.
Did you see Mark Dutch's comment?
No, hold on a second. Oh my. Mark, shout out to you, bro. We love you. We appreciate you for being here.
He said that's why I shave my balls. There you go. BAWLS.
BAWLS. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
All right, let's check out these. Let's check out these crypto markets before I pull up the actual. Market caps. I just want to show something to everybody. Ouch. That's what that should explain most of the crypto markets right now. Let's go over and actually take a look at the global market cap here. The global market cap is at 2.37 trillion with the T dollars. That's down 3.5%. Bitcoin 62,679. We're going to talk about why we think here in a minute. I'm going to have Army analysis. Give me some analysis. ETH holding on above 3K, which is good to see. Tether holding strong at $1. Love to see that. BNB has taken a beating, down to 534. I remember when it got up over to $600 not too long ago. And the one that is absolutely getting hammered, and I think, honestly, it kind of deserves it, is Solana, because it has not been doing much good in terms of the network as of recent. And then scrolling down through the top 10, hey, Toncoin still holding strong at number 10. It did jump up to number 9, back to number 10. But, I mean, it's done really well. It's 9% over the week, down a couple percent today. Toncoin's going to continue to do its thing. Let me check in real quick on my babies down here. Hold on.
Hey, while you look at that, shout out to Believes Crypto. He's in the chat right now.
Oh, Believes in the house?
I'm here. Yeah, Believes is in the house right now. So shout out to him. And Lunar Beach is crypto. So,
shout out to both of them. V-Chain, 3.9 cents, down a couple percent. And Caspa, 11.42 cents. Getting smacked, down 20% and down 12.9% respectively, VeChain and Caspa. So what are your babies on this list, Army? Besides, don't give me something in the top. Don't give me something in the top 10. Give me one of your babies outside of the top 10.
You just touched my baby
Caspa?
Right there, Joe Biden. Caspa.
Caspa needs to get through. I'll tell you this. I'll give you some the backroom information that I have from the mining community. So I've got my miners set up here in North Carolina, quite a few miners rocking and rolling there, and the halving itself, the Bitcoin halving, which is like supposed to be Friday, I believe, doesn't directly impact or affect Caspa. Caspa ultimately continues to the difficulty factor, and it has its own little halvings here and there once a month, I believe is how that happens. So it kind of slowly does it all the time. But I will say there is a correlation a lot of times when Bitcoin, and this is kind of strange, but when Bitcoin is absolutely ripping, Caspa is sitting still. When Bitcoin is either moving to the downside or sitting still is when Caspa rips. Now, many of you would say, well, wait a minute, that's how altcoins work. No. I get that, right? When they have their turn, but very specifically, we don't ever get huge rips out of Caspa when Bitcoin's ripping. And I wonder if it's because it's the second largest proof of work blockchain, because it's literally doing what Bitcoin's doing, I would say better, but I don't know. You got some TA you want to show me, Army?
A lot of people say that about Caspa, that if Satoshi Nakamoto was to create Bitcoin today, it would look like Caspa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some TA here for you, man.
Yeah, check it out.
We'll take a look at what we got here. So yesterday morning, my thumbnail for Piper Academy, I said recovery or retest, and we called retest. You can see we had the breakout here of this symmetric triangle, and we were pumping back up. And I said, watch for a rejection on the retest because we don't enter trades on breakouts. We enter on retest for further downside. That's literally what we got there. And I've had this triangle on here for what, 2 weeks now. So yeah, it's looking like a retest. I'm actually calling for 56K. And I read it. Yeah, that's why I think we're going to retest. It's going to be the 887 just to show you guys what this is.
Okay.
These are horizontal fibs on a Fibonacci channel, long-term Fibonacci channel. And what I'm watching for is a retest here of the 887 on the platinum pocket. I think we are going to retest down that low. Interestingly enough, there was an article that I was reading this morning. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, this crypto research firm said we sold everything. I don't know if you ever heard of him. It's Marcus Thielen from 10X Research. They sold off a bunch, and his all the way at the bottom of this article that I thought
sold off a bunch of what?
They sold off a bunch of their altcoins.
A bunch of their alts. Okay, all right.
Yep. But when you get down here and take a look at what he said, Thielen concluded, promising a strong re-entry into the market under more favorable conditions. Will buy back with both hands at 52,000. If I go back to my chart and take a look at their that research group's $52,000 range, it's going to be in the platinum pocket here. 52,000 would be right about midway of the platinum pocket between the 887 and the 786. So interesting amount that he called out there too. But I'm watching for 56K here in our community. So
let me so thank you for that, Army. I will see you said it right around 52K, right?
Yep.
That is a very interesting number, and I'll show you why. From Keepers Technical Analysis. So here's what I did. Let me zoom out a little bit for you guys first. Okay. This is on an hourly. Okay. So I zoomed out nice and big so that you guys could see what's happening here. I'll get into some of the indicators that I'm looking at here in just a minute. But ultimately, I went ahead and pulled, you guys know I love volume profiles. So I went ahead and pulled a volume profile all the way back from the 1st of February. So I went back effectively all of February, all of March, and we've got half of April. So about 2.5 months until I pulled it from the 1st all the way until yesterday. And the interesting thing about that number that you just said is the point of control is $51,703.50. And they're talking about 52K. I believe that they're going back, and I didn't go back to the 1st of January, but I believe that they are effectively going back to the 1st of the year, taking a volume profile off of that. Not only this, right? They're using Confluence with other things, but I think that they are going from the 1st of the year until now, looking at apparently the most volume and price action that is happening, and it's going to be right around that 52K number. I believe that they think that the rest of the market is bearish. Here's what I was actually, I'm going to draw my squiggles. You guys like my squiggles, so I'm going to do some squiggles. We have two options here.
Mexican spaghetti. That's what we call that.
We have two options here. We come down towards the bottom of this triangle, and then I think we take that hard move like we see a lot of times as we come out of it. And then like Army says, right, we look for the retest and then down towards, guess what? 51.7, 52K area. Now, the alternative obviously is, it could go up, it could go down. Listen, I know I'm a genius. I get it. But what I do want to say is the other part of that is, and I will question what would happen here if we start heading down and come and break to the upside at this 67 number, 67.4, right, is the value area high since that time frame, since the 1st of February. My concern is that value area high tends to be a point with a lot of volume. You can see like there's a lot of volume all the way over here, all the way through here, just below it, but coming up to it, coming back down to it here. There's a lot of volume that's happening all the way through here at that point. My concern is that that's lower than the all-time high. And what people are going to want to see in the short term is they're going to want to see numbers over 73K. That's what they want to see. So the question becomes, if we do hold to the upside, if we do go to the upside, get to that 67,481.70, give or take. If we do get to that and then get rejected, you know what I'm saying? But let me be clear. Here's what I think. I think that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we go down to 52K or go up to 73K right now. I believe that by the end of this year, we are going to be absolutely ripping and running in the right direction, up and to the right. So like short term, if you missed the opportunity maybe to get in, or maybe you're newer to these markets, we drop down to 52K. Listen, everybody says, "Oh, I'm looking for this. I can't wait for it to get here." And then when it gets here, they're like, "Well, I'm not going to buy yet. I'm waiting for it to go a little lower." Right? Don't be that person. Dollar cost averaging works.
Don't be that guy.
Boring, but it freaking works. Thoughts, Army?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm doing right now. I might take a little bit of my profit. I got some pretty high profit margins in MicroStrategy stock and CleanSpark. I might take a little bit of that profit out. I'm going to keep about half of it in there. Big reason is because MicroStrategies tends to run parabolically X greater than what Bitcoin does. And if Bitcoin's going to pull back, MicroStrategies will probably pull back pretty significantly. But
for sure.
On top of that, there was a post on X that I was talking about on the show this morning that the mining companies, with the difficulty doubling on the mining for Bitcoin mining here, like what
I got some Bitcoin miners rocking and rolling down in Paraguay. I know it.
Well, with that difficulty growing, they estimate that there might be earnings reports of $10 billion in combined losses across all of the crypto mining for this year until that difficulty gets figured out and they get upgraded machines, because a lot of them need to do some upgrades. So if I'm looking at earnings reports coming out on mining stock companies talking about a combined $10 billion in losses, probably going to be pretty substantial pullback on those companies. And I want to have that profit for dry powder to dollar cost average in on those also. So there you go. There's that DCA. Interesting thing you were talking about on the fixed range volume profile, because if you pull over my chart here, I put this on the daily or on the 4 hour now. And what I'm looking at here, you can see this line right here. This is the 786, the bottom of the platinum pocket there. And it was resistance here. You can see right here, we had a touch of rejection on it, and then we fought here for a good week to get above it. We had a perfect retest on it before it took off to the upside. If we go back and we pull a fixed range volume profile from that point of breaking the 786, there's something pretty interesting I just saw. Check this out. That is the value area low that we're fighting to hold right now as support. So,
interesting.
That's pretty interesting there. And then also, if we jump over here and take a look at where we are on that level on this chart, we did get a peak seeker down here, which typically indicates a reversal in the market. You can see we had them here on the top side. That was pulled down. Had it on the top side. That was pulled down. Well, when you get them on the bottom, that typically means bottom to the upside, not parabolic forever, but that was a pretty decent pump run there on that one. If you take a look at where that was from the bottom of this, where that clicked, that was like a 7% move on Bitcoin, which is not a shabby trade. So for the traders out there, good little indication going on right there. And then another thing that I pointed out today on our show was the MVP oscillator. It's one of the internal oscillators within the Oscillator Pro here. And if I put this on a 3-day chart, you will see that right now, and you can see I had them highlighted still. Let me get rid of the Mexican spaghetti down there so I can show you what I'm looking at here. These green candles typically indicate bottom indication. And you can see when we had them really bright, they got to bright green down here. That was there. We had them down here. That was pretty much the bottom there. We are starting to get those green candles to print. We had them here back here in March, and that was that pump all the way back up there. That was a move back then to the upside. Oh, did I not get it? I didn't get it. That was a move to the upside there of 20% return to the upside. So we are starting to get those right now, and we are sitting at pretty key support right now, like I said, on that value area low. So of course, if we lose that, you'll see our next real good volume node is right here, right above that $56,000 range that I was talking about. And then that $52,000 range that was in that article, that's this whole cluster right in here. So that's what I'm going to be watching for. is these support levels, these key support levels. You can go back to 2cam.
Yeah.
These two support levels, just holding us where we are, that value area low, trying to hold it there. But again, if we don't, I'm looking at 56K. Thielen's research company, they're looking at 52K. So
I don't think either way it's going to be. I mean, if so, listen, the alts are going to bleed heavy. It's going to be scary especially for people that are new to the markets, because there was so much bullish momentum going in. We were at all-time highs, all this stuff, and then it feels like this big letdown. But I want to remind everyone that this is perfectly normal for what happens around the halving. The reality is the miners, whether you want to admit this or not, do rule the roost. They are the ones that are putting Bitcoin out into the markets. And so when their rewards get chopped in half, now it's a beautiful thing, supply and demand. So you would like to think, okay, well, supply and demand just says that this is going to skyrocket. And the answer is yes, it is. However, it takes a little bit of time for that to actually happen. It's not just immediately it hits and all of a sudden, right? You got to think about it. The supply gets cut at that point, and then it takes some time where all of a sudden we're putting less and less and less Bitcoin into the market. And the reality is, if the same amount of demand stays in the market as it is exactly right now, it has to move up and to the right, which is a beautiful thing. But that's going to take some time. So be patient. For those of you that have zero patience, listen, this is probably not for you. It's probably not. You've got to have. You know what? I know people get into crypto because they, their buddy made a millionaire in 3 days or whatever. But you also probably know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that maybe won the lottery. Like, it's just not the norm. So you've got to have a greater understanding of financial markets, and that's part of the reason why I bring Army on. I'm going to do a section here in just a little bit. We're going to go over some fun videos. We're going to talk about X. We're going to have some fun looking at some different things here and there. But I want to first start off with let's continue on with where we're headed here. These markets are moving to the downside right now. Let me touch the first reason why I believe, and then Army, I want to hear some indicators that you see in the markets as to something that people can pay attention to. Because the reality is, we want you to be able to make money, everybody that's watching here. And the best way to be able to, or one of the best ways to be able to make money, is to have some foresight. Have some understanding of, hey, if this happens, how do I respond? What should I do? So I want to look at some indicators. Let's look at the first thing that would give me an indication that things are rough right now. Iran. Let's just call it what it is without getting the channel into trouble. The reality is the United States plays big brother with and for just about everybody, right? They're going to beat up anybody who touches anyone, whatever. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not going to get political with this, although I do love my politics. I'm just saying that's a very real reality. The reality of that also is that who wins in a war? Well, the stocks that are surrounding war, right? Defense. They do freaking fantastic. A lot.
The war machine.
Yes, and it is. War is very, very profitable. But what you have to understand is that you got to be looking in the right sector of the markets for war to be profitable, right? You've got to know, I'm looking over here when a war is popping off. And I can all but guarantee you, without even looking right now, I'll bet you, starts with an R. One of the big,
Raytheon.
I'll bet you Raytheon's up. I'll bet you, who's
manufacturer of the PAC-3 missile system, aka the Patriot, which is the Iron Dome. So
yes. I'll bet you, and now that I need to pull them out of my butt, I can't even freaking say the names. Who's the other? Who's like the big three in the defense contractors? So Raytheon,
Booz Allen Hamilton, Raytheon, General Dynamics, Grumman.
Yeah. But there's one more that's like a really big one that I'm missing right now.
L3.
No, hold on a second. As soon as I say
Lockheed Martin.
And I know somebody that
I actually track all those. I have them all up on my screen right now.
Well, let's look at them, right? Let's see if I'm even kind of close. I'm going to guess they're up. Let me see what you got. Holy shit. What do you know? I swear to God, everybody watching, I have not looked at these. I have not looked at any of these.
So this is Booz Allen Hamilton. I actually told my community to buy this. Let's go to a daily. I actually told my community to buy this down there at $120.
Yep.
These white lines you're going to see on these, that's why they're all grouped right here together already. This is when I told my community to buy these stocks a while back. So $120 on Booz Allen Hamilton. It's up 0.2% right now. You can see they have a massive gap up here.
Yep.
This is Lockheed Martin. My buy-in on that one was $428 for the call right there. And
So
we
you're
are
trading options on war stocks.
I was not. I was doing some spot flipping. So,
okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but that's up 7.12% from where my call was on that one. This one is General Dynamics. My call on that was $228 for the buy on that one. That one is up a massive right now 25%.
And in the stock market, that's huge.
Yeah, Raytheon call was at $72.97 when I made this call for a buy.
30%.
Yeah, this one's up quite a bit. This one's up right now about 39%, almost 40%. This is Northrop Grumman, and right now we just bounced on the buy line for that one at $448. So you would have been down a couple of times here, but for the most part, we're still at the entry on that one. My big one, though.
Oh.
You missed my big one.
I'm sorry.
This was my Hail Mary call. This is called Spirit. This is called Spirit Aerosystems Holdings. And what they do is they design the electronics for drone systems. If you take a look at the buy-in on this one, it was at $16.77. To right now, that is a 101% move from my call on this like 4 months ago to my community. So there you go. So I don't just do crypto. I do stocks and crypto. It's, I'm all about making money where there's money to be made. And sometimes it's in the war machine. And since I'd spent 22 and a half years in the Army, I kind of know which companies out there are going to be the ones that pick up these contracts the most. So well-connected contractors.
Yes. No, and that's not what I meant to do.
And now I'm just a voice in the background.
That's right.
It's okay. I'll be your AI system keeper.
That's right. I appreciate that. You can run the board for me. I had not looked at any of that, right? I had not looked at a single bit of that. The reality is like that's where having an understanding of broader markets is important. You got to be able to look at opportunities. So let me now roll it back a little bit. Let's look at the greater economy. Let's take out the war machine that we just talked about, which up and to the right, we saw every single one of them was up. Let's take that out of the equation. What would be a good indicator overall that the economy is looking? Now we're trying to be forward looking, right? Because we want to make the decision now as to whether we're going long or short on the market. Give me a good example, Army, of something that people can look at and watch and tell me why.
The best example, and I actually picked this up from OC Guy. Best example that you can watch for. Take a guess, Keeper. It's in everything around you right now. I guarantee if you take a look around, what I'm getting ready to say is everywhere around you at this moment in your room that you're in. What do you think it is?
Everywhere around me in the room. So it's in a house. Copper.
Number one indicator of how strong the economy is doing.
Okay, but
why?
Tell me why. So it's used for everything.
It's the wiring in your house. It's in electronics. It's in it's cars. Everything out there that manufacturers make. That if it has anything at all to do with electricity, it's got copper in it. And so when you look at the copper strength on the market, when you see copper start to pull back, it means that manufacturers are their pucker factor is high, and they decide, hey, this is not what I want to do. So I actually watch copper futures. It's HG1 exclamation point is the ticker for it. And this is your copper futures. It's from COMEX Commodities Exchange, and it's going to give you a really good picture of what's going on with copper. This is it. This is HG1.
Is this an index fund?
Exclamation point. Look, yeah, it's a copper futures. So it's what people are projecting for copper to do. And you can see right now, if you take a look at where we are just past, well, we had a little pullback from this level, but we just pulled back from our high that we had back in January 2023. So over a year ago. And we're not too far off from our all-time high up here. So yeah, copper futures. they're manufacturing companies are really bullish right now still. So they're still picking up a lot of copper. So this is one good indicator that you can go to, and really just see what's going on. Of course, you got unemployment rate. If the labor force is still looking strong, then, you know, mind you, the numbers are slightly manipulated. Every time we come out with a new number for you know, where we are with unemployment and, you know, job numbers and stuff, they come back the next month, they do a correction on that. There's no big announcement on that, by the way. It's just a little slide of the, you know, hey, we changed that number, by the way, and then they drive on. But you are seeing numbers come out that say right now that you know, there's a lot of jobs hitting the market, a lot of jobs, you know, being opened up to for more hires. But a lot of it that they're not telling you is that the $65,000, simplicity of numbers, $60,000 job that got cut is now being replaced with two $25,000 to $30,000 part-time jobs. You know, so people are working, you know, more to make the same amount of money now.
Well, but also they fired, like, I always loved how Joe Biden was like, you know, how many new jobs have I created? No, dude, you can't fire every freaking buddy during COVID and make them just freaking stop their job and then quote unquote hire them back and count that as new jobs that you created. No, that's what we call manipulation. That's trying to utilize 100%, bro.
But everyone's done it for years. It's been that's been a thing that you know, politicians are, you know, I would eat sushi from a Kuwaiti gas station before I would trust a politician. So I
don't disagree with you, dude. That's for sure. So what do you see? So we see copper's up, war, you know, the war machine obviously is up. So let me ask you this. Looking at where the markets are at right now, we've looked at kind of your thought process on Bitcoin, but let's zoom out a little bit. Let's look over the next year. Has anything changed for you fundamentally looking at the rest of this year? The halving's about to happen this week, right? We've got the election coming up later this year. There's a lot of fuckery, excuse my mouth, but a lot of that going on in the political world and economically, like all around with the war machine that we were just talking about, et cetera, et cetera. Do you see this like playing out any differently than you had projected? Are you still bullish as ever, and this thing is just going to rip and run? Are you concerned? What are you thinking?
I am bullish with a cautious approach. How about that?
Okay.
We do have some indicators going on out there. There's things like inflation is rearing its ugly head again. We are getting inflation coming back up. The rate cuts are falling off the table every day. There's, you know, it's leaning more and more towards rate cuts not until September or later. I would not be surprised if we don't even see a rate cut until right before the election. Yep.
Convenient.
Matter of fact, let me go pull up while I'm talking here. I want to pull up the FOMC and see what we're looking at for rate hikes. Or rate cuts, because I don't think that we're going to see that for a while. But go ahead and do that while I pull this up.
Yeah, cool. As you're pulling that up, I just want to throw out there, everybody, looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up about 2% on the hour. ETH is up about 2% on the hour. Let's see if we can zoom in on the chart over here. Let's zoom into about a 5 minute here. Let's really zoom in here. Let me come up here. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. I hate when I do that. I literally hate when I do that. I need to use the little, see, this is where
just hit Control Z and you'll get rid of that.
You can do what? Command Z?
Control Z. Yeah, Command Z, Control Z, whatever.
No, that's not working.
It works on mine. Maybe you don't have a Mac. That's why.
I do have a Mac. Then
it
took me. No, look what it did. It took me back off the whole damn chart. It put me to Coinbase. Oh no! Hold on a second.
You'll be okay.
What is going on? I gotta go. I gotta go in here now and change this to USDT.P. Go back down to Bybit. I wonder what the heck just happened there. That was interesting. Okay, whatever. It is what it is. I just wanted to zoom in a little bit and see if we had any sort of an indicator as to the little bit of bullish momentum that we have going on. It's only 2%. Zooming out, just trying to see if any of my trend lines are being played with. Nope, we are literally right in the middle of I'm zooming out here, but we are right in the middle of nothingness. We are in the middle of diddle in the middle, as Magic would call it.
The diddle in the middle.
This is the diddle in the middle, because ultimately, you know, we are not at the top of the trend line. We are not at the bottom of said trend line. We are not at the point of control. We are not at the value area high. We are diddling in the middle. So, okay. No entertainment value there. Just trying to see if,
I got to tell you, Keeper, I've been, Crux and I, we've been assisting, you on the backside of trying to, to keep this show into, high quality content that it is able to be. Helping you is like helping my 79-year-old stepdad program a remote for his TV. I love you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I am glad that I am meeting expectations. If I keep the expectations at that level, then as I succeed, you're on spot. Only up and to the right. That's right, baby. Let's get it.
No, I got nothing but love for you, man. Check this out, though. We're looking. Our FOMC is going to be September 18th. I don't know what we get there. We might get a rate cut in September, the earliest. I'm betting that we get it November 7th. That is November 7th. That is what, 4 days before the election day, Keeper. So, and we're looking right now at a 76% chance of a rate cut in November. We don't actually get into like high levels. That's only 87% there in December. January is at 90.8, so 91%. March of next year is 94.5. I mean, we were hitting 100% chances mid-year. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were at like 99.9% chance of a June, July 6 months ago. So as we move on, we're nowhere in here. Am I seeing a 99%? The first one that we have close is July of next year, 2025, with the 99.6% chance of a rate cut. So,
so much can happen in between now and then.
So much can happen, and that's why I said I'm cautiously bullish. Yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, the markets have moved with high inflation, with rate cuts, being promised later. And we've continued to have upward movement on the market. I think we're just having really harsh pullbacks right now. You got all this data that came out about Iran and Israel, which, that triggered a lot of risk. You had that gold hitting all-time high last week before any of this even came out, which was highly suspicious to me. Yeah, how'd you guys know to buy gold all of a sudden?
I have questions. That's right.
I have questions, exactly. But in the grand scheme of things, you got a lot going on right now. What I will put this out, what I'm watching with the Iran-Israel, I follow a lot of people out there, and because it has interest to me. I'm a recall threat, right? One thing that I am watching closely right now is how Israel is reacting to the retaliatory attack of Iran, because Israel did an activity on sovereign land at an embassy, right? So that's how that works. Yeah. But right now it looks like Israel is focusing on the non-Iranian supported militias, like, the Houthis and stuff like that, and the Hezbollahs and, of the world. That's what they're focusing on. They're like, fine, that you guys say all the time that they're not related and linked to you. We know differently. So we're not going to do anything to Iran. You're a sovereign country. We're going to go and start taking out your generals. And they taken out 2 of their generals in the past 24 hours of those third-party militias, right? So they're doing it smart.
Yeah, and they, somebody came on with some freaking brass balls here in the United States. I don't know if you saw it, but he effectively said, listen, he effectively threatened the United States and said that if you guys fire on Iran, we're not basically pulling any punches. You will be on the list of targets. And it's like, hang on, bro. You weren't able to hit your neighbor with 15 of the freaking shots that you took, and you think that you're going to throw out there a threat to the United States that's halfway across the world. For one, we are the reason probably that all of your stuff got shot down, or partially responsible for all your stuff getting shot down anyway.
90% of it was us.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and that's going to be a prize they're not going to want that smoke. You know what I mean? I used to tell people before I'd get into a fight, if we were like out or whatever and something happened, I used to very calmly say, this is your opportunity to walk away. I'm giving you an opportunity. Like, it was genuine, serious. Like, hey, I'm going to give you an opportunity to walk away right now. And well, what's that supposed to mean? Well, effectively, that's what we're doing to Iran right now. We're going to give you the opportunity to walk away from this right now. I'm giving
Absolutely.
you the opportunity.
So do you know where military strength wise? Do you know where Iran places in the global military strength?
I don't, but I'll bet you it is down the charts.
Well, it's 11. It's not bad. It's the 11th strongest military on the planet for capability and response reaction.
Okay.
But I don't know if you recall way back in the day, we had this little thing where we went and assisted Kuwait on removing a dictator that had taken over their country, and it was Iraq. You may remember the guy's name, Saddam Hussein. Found him in a spider hole. Yeah. Do you know how big the Iraq military was on the global military strength when we did that? And keep in mind, within 72 hours, we had them like on their knees.
Were they towards the top of the charts?
Fourth. They were the 4th strongest military on the planet, and within 72 hours, we had them on their knees. So Iran at the 11th, not a concern at all.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just, but it ultimately, we're here to talk about crypto. It ultimately does hurt the markets, at least temporarily. And then you have to look at that and decide, okay, is this an opportunity? How am I going to play this? Am I going to trade this? Am I going to take this as an opportunity to, hey, you can use all the technical analysis you want in the world, but if World War III pops off, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not in a short, you're going to get liquidated quick, because it's just going to absolutely just drop, right? That's just a fact. And then the question becomes, how low does it go? There's just a lot there that can be risky. But the reality is, and I question this. I do question this. If it is different this time, if it is, let's assume the 4-year cycle maybe goes away. Let's say that the Bitcoin halving makes an impact, a big impact on supply and demand every 4 years. But what if we are moving more and more towards being a stock market-esque market, right? And let's say it's not just this this year and a half of bullish and then, couple years of bearish, or you know what I'm saying? Like, what if we moved away from that? And then the halving, combined with obviously being an election year, et cetera, has a nice big move in markets. But if we pull away from that, the answer right now is the same thing that I've been telling you guys for years, which is dollar cost averaging. Because if you're not doing that, and then taking some profits along the way, you're setting yourself up for failure. Or the other part of it, and this is what's scary in crypto, what if I think we're going to a 4-year cycle and we do turn more stock market-esque, and I pull all of my freaking profits and we continue to go up and to the right over time?
Which is why you don't pull all your profits.
That's my point. You have to have that game plan.
You dollar cost average out the same way you dollar cost average in, right?
Right, but you still want to have exposure to the market in some sort of way. So you've got to put that game plan together, because if you fully exit and you're wrong,
you got to do that before. You have to plan for that. When the time comes to act, the time to prepare has done pass.
Yeah, it's too late.
I always used to tell my troops.
Yep. It's too late.
I think what happened this year, Keeper, let me walk you through the scenario that happened. We had
my dude Honest in the chat. What up, Honest? Good to see you, bro. Sorry to cut you off, Arnie. Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries, man. No worries, Keeper. It's your show. I'm just a guest. Here's what happened. We had institutional interest that caused a lot of rally and FOMO from retail, from the ETFs. The ETFs pulled back at the launch. We had Bitcoin pull back. Everyone started to pick it up and grab it, and people were like, it's not really dropping that much. It was 21% pullback back then in January. And so they jumped in. Keep that in mind. Remember that number, 21% pullback. They started jumping in. Altcoins absolutely ripped off. When do altcoins typically rip off in the cycle, Keeper?
Well, I mean, are you asking for an actual time frame, or are you asking for versus Bitcoin?
In the halving cycle, when do altcoins do their biggest pumps?
Well, I guess it would be like the second part of the move.
Not before the halving.
No,
at all.
No,
altcoins got so freaking FOMO'd into way too early, and now that they are resettling to where they would typically be, everyone is running out and selling. They're scared. They're like, oh my God, this is brutal. Yes, this is what happens in the bear market, but we're seeing bear market alt price action taking place when normally there wouldn't be any alt sell-off because, well, there would be, but not a lot because not that many people are holding alts at that point. Typically, everyone went into Bitcoin and Ethereum and then would flush over into alts later.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people that really flushed into alts way early, and so they're seeing massive blood waterfalls on the charts, and it scared a lot of people away. Really, in the grand scheme of things, we're from the top, we're down 16.7% right now.
Which is just crypto, right?
Which is less than what we had in January with the ETF. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah. Guys, this is typical. We broke all-time high early. We had a lot of FOMO into alts, which caused a big flush of money into that. They pumped up parabolically higher than what they would ever have been any other Bitcoin cycle. And now you're just seeing a lot of pain coming from people that bought in on the rally, and now it's just flushing out. We're actually settling back to the 4-year look right now. So
I couldn't agree more. And the other part of that equation is how heavy people jumped into and are actively in meme coins. You know, one of the funny things is that when the markets, when Bitcoin dumps, when the markets dump, meme coins get absolutely slaughtered. But if you've been paying attention, that hasn't really been happening so much across the board on a lot of these right now, because, and I think it's because people are of the mindset that, hey, this bullish move is happening. I'm just gonna. A lot of people have this idea like dust or gold, right? Like it's either going to the moon or I'm taking it down to zero. And we have such a big move incoming from Bitcoin that all of these things are going to catch fire and go. It didn't used to be like that either. They would just they'd be the first thing for people to bail out of. But guess what? I've got some freaking meme coins that are holding strong, like holding strong. People are just holding on to them and saying, nope, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I know what this is going to do, you know? So I don't know. What do you got pulled up there? You want to pull that up?
Yeah. You can go ahead and pull this up. This is from Crypto Quant. It's pre-halving price fluctuations historically. You can see back here we had a pullback of 40.3%. Last cycle 20.35%. This is at the halving area. If you take a look, 16.65. And we're there. We're on the halving line because it's this Friday right now. So currently, I think it's let me look here. Yeah, there we go. April 19th. So 3 days, 3 hours from now, we will have the halving. So we're 16.65. Even if we pull all the way down to that line that I was talking about, that 56K, if we pull all the way down to there from our high point right now, that would be a 23.5% move. That's right in line with what we would typically see in the 4-year cycle. Like I said, we're just seeing more blood than normal because it's people tap the head. I don't know if you've ever seen a Shura in the Middle East, but it's to memorialize one of the imams that he got murdered, and so they do this little thing with the tap of the blade on their head, and they look like they're covered in blood. They're drenched, and it's a little tiny nick. That's what we're seeing right now. This is a little tiny nick in the grand scheme of the markets, but you guys are seeing way more blood because alts got so high so quick before they normally would. So they took off. They had a little bit of a premature, you know what. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's go. Let's shift over. I want to have a little bit of fun. I want to go over onto X. I want to go over onto TikTok. Actually, I have one TikTok and then some X stuff that I want to go to. So if you guys aren't following me on TikTok, I want to throw it out there. _CryptoKeeper. And I definitely have some fun over there. But let me show you this. Army, tell me if you can hear this. I'm going to start hitting play. I'm going to hit play. Tell me if you can hear this.
No.
You can't?
Cannot.
Oh my God. Are you freaking serious? The one thing. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm not going to mess with what needs to happen here. Let me show you. The kid's playing Monopoly. The mom says, "Where's all your money?" And he's like, "Taxes. And she says, "It's okay, honey. It's a part of the game." And he's like, "No, it's the worst part of the game. I hate taxes." Taxes are the
I love it.
Part of the game.
I love it, man. Did you ever see the people that get their first paycheck? Like my son got his first paycheck today, and he's like looking at it, like, where'd all my money go? Where'd all my money go? Yeah, they start crying at the first paycheck. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry that
I just paid out 5 digits yesterday. 5-digit range of tax payout yesterday is what I just.
Oh yeah.
So I feel his pain. I feel it.
I'm right. I'm right there with you. That is unfortunately a part of life. If you're not following myself, if you're not following Army Piper, make sure to follow us both. Turn on the bell notifications. Crypto Wars OG on X. And what's your tag? What's your handle on X, Army?
At Army Piper, all one word.
Army Piper, all one word.
Yep. There's not a lot of Army Pipers out there.
Yeah, no, I see that. I see that. So let's take a look. Let's take a look a little bit into my world, my Twitter world, if you will. So my good friend, confidant, business partner, Crypto Face, 750K. This is my trade. There's my stop. Now have a good night. Sleep time. I'll see y'all later. So I want you to take a peek at this, Army. You can see where his stop. You can see, ultimately what he's looking at here. Do you like this trade? Do you hate this trade? He's a 10x short. Obviously, you can see that across the bottom. What are your thoughts?
I think he's got a solid trade there, man. I do believe we've got more downside coming. And who am I to challenge Crypto Face? The man is a legend when it comes to high level trades. And
he definitely is that.
We've been calling for this on the show now for like a month. I was like, guys, we could revisit $66,000, and people in my community were listening, but a lot of people were like, no. They were either saying that was not far enough down, or they were saying, no, I don't think it's going to go down that low. But I think we
got some more down.
It was real simple for me.
Some more downside to go. So also, can you hear this? Hold on. Let me zoom back out. Can you hear this?
No audio on my end.
Okay. All right. No worries. This is Dubai right now. So we have some friends that are over in Dubai. And so this is from Sistine Research. If you don't want to do your own research, DYOR, heck with that. You can check out Sistine Research. My good friend Forrest has made so many freaking good calls. I've got a link down below the stream for that. It is worth the $50. I can tell you I've made a lot of money off Forrest calls. But this is Dubai right now, Army. So check this out. We've got a bunch of people over there for, I think it is like token
2049. Yep.
2049, right? And ultimately it can't handle rain. Okay. Like just flat out. I think, do I have another one? Let me look. I think.
Well, New York had an event also, and there was an earthquake, and someone on Twitter said, maybe this is Dubai and New York. I think it was Corey that I follow on Twitter. He said, maybe this is the world saying, quit putting these crypto events in places that normal people can't afford to go because, New York had an earthquake and Dubai's flooding. So,
Yeah, no kidding. It definitely, there's some chaos going on. French Toast said, too many people switch bearish. Now I feel like I should be bullish, which ultimately it is always, or not always, but a lot of times very good to counter trade the market. So, hey, I love what Forrest said here. Where can I pre-order the Tesla Cyber Canoe? Look at this thing as you zoom in. It literally looks like the freaking Tesla, whatever, that Tesla Cyber truck or whatever it is. It literally looks exactly like it. But yeah, there's a bunch of people over there that are getting absolutely hammered on, at the event there. So prayers, shout out to them.
Yeah, they have no drainage system. They have no drainage system there.
Yep. So they're just getting absolutely murdered. Shout out to my boy Crypto Blood and my boy Hotep Jesus. Says the most important conversations are happening on my channel. Today, I'm talking to Crypto Blood about trading meme coins. Listen, that's going live in about 6 minutes, guys. 5 or 6 minutes. So go over on to Crypto Blood's channel. I'm telling you, they're talking meme coins. These are two of my homies for a long, long time. I love both of them. They're going to have a fantastic conversation over there. Now, you say, well, okay, let's talk meme coins. Well, which meme coins are actually worth buying right now? Well, you told me that you told me that you have no audio on this stuff, right? Let me try this.
No audio. Nope.
Okay. You can read.
Give us the narration.
So he goes through and shows the dog with hat and then talks about how this other shitcoin has all of this freaking great tech going on. Everybody picks, wouldn't you guess, dog with hat. And he says, can you give a reason why? What do you think she says? He's cute.
Because it's cute. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
the
is cute.
normies, as we like to call them, are going to continue, and this is one of the things that you guys need to understand. These meme coins, with a lot of these, they have no rhyme or reason other than, oh, it's cute, it follows a good narrative, it's fun, so we're buying it. And so you need to understand that. Listen, the Trump meme coin that I keep talking to you guys about, that has went from, I've told you, had a couple 100,000 all the way up to 2 million. I think it's at like 1 million and some change right now. You'd have made great money on that. That's on Ton. Obviously, Ton coin's been doing fantastic, and Tonald is the coin that, listen, part of the reason, besides the fact that there's actual utility with this token, is that Donald Trump has become a meme, right? We have the Donald Trump actor that literally his voice is spot on, that comes in and does our X platform, our X spaces. He's in our Telegram. You can listen. The reality is, people want to have fun and make money together, and that's what the meme coin space is doing for people. It just is.
Hey, Keeper, I want to give a shout out to Alexandra G, because every time you say a name in the space,
she's
whether
great.
it be X, YouTube, I told you, man, she's amazing. She's what we should do.
I think I wrenched her because you told me to, and then I gave her some money for the wheel, so she's on the on the wheel for sure for continuing.
And then I sent you a super chat also and said to put that with her name on it also yesterday. That super chat.
I did not see that you told me to put her name on it, so I will. I
said put this for Alexandra G, because she's killing it. But here's what I think we should do with Alexandra G. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
If we have the bull run that all of us influencers, crypto YouTubers, whatever you want to call us, content creators, if we have the bull run that we all think we're going to have, I think we should all chip in together for Alexandra G to have a nice little vacay.
Is this your wife? Are you trying to get part of? Is this your wife undercover, and you're trying to get your vacation?
That is not my wife. That is not my wife. Matter of fact, no, Alexandra G is not my wife. My wife is Amy Smith, Miss Piper. And I'm very happily married.
I'm down. I will donate to that cause. What's the number?
All right.
No, we got to put a number on this in terms of what's Bitcoin got to hit for us to do a donation towards Alexandra G. Let's take a
Let me do some math, because I have a number in my mind, because I've had a 5-year plan to hit $1 million.
Okay.
5-year plan started in 2020. So let me look at something here.
Yep. I'm going to look at my chart as well right quick, and I think the number that I think that now, how many? Oh, my daughter's home. How many did I heard something? I was like, wait a minute, nobody's supposed to be here. How many different channels do you know that she does this for? So she's doing it for my channel now. You threw that out there. She's doing it for is she doing it for all your cronies? She doing it for everybody?
Yep.
For you?
Everybody. Every channel that I pretty much follow, Alexandra G is a mod for. So and she's this way with all of them. Like I think she sits there with like a list, a Word document, and she's got everything ready to go constantly. She's amazing.
It is quick. It is quick. So we love you, Alexandra G. I'm gonna throw out a number. You go ahead with yours first. I've got mine locked in.
I'm thinking if my account hits what I think it's going to, 2K. I'll throw 2K in on it.
You'll throw 2K on it. Well, Army, I got to tell you, that is very, very generous. I was actually asking you what number you wanted Bitcoin to hit before we were going to donate towards her, but you can tell us how much you're throwing in on it.
If we hit what I think we're going to hit, because right now I only need a 1x right now to break $1 million.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. No, I'm with you. Okay.
So I've been placing my bets for a while now. So
I'll tell you what, let me give some more context to it. And I'm not going to go crazy with it. I don't think this is a crazy number. If Bitcoin hits 125K, I'll match your 2.
Cool. I like it.
There you go, Alexandra.
Now we just got to get all the other ones on board with it. We got to get all the other ones on board.
Well, shoot, $4,000 to give her a nice vacation. Come on now. I mean, that'd be a nice vacation. She could have a banger if more people jumped in on it, But I'll match that at 125.
Keeper. 4K is my plane ticket for my October trip.
Listen, where's she going, right? I mean, yes, we need more.
I got a timeshare too, so I can set her up with a timeshare on top of it. That'll save the cost of lodging. So there you go.
I like it. I like it. Crypto fam, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I want to see if I missed anything here that I wanted to. Well, J Chains has a ridiculous picture of this guy doing the most ridiculous bong rip I've ever seen in my life. I just wanted to shout out J Chains because that's my dude, and he is freaking fantastic. But I got to tell you, the weed heads have taken it a little bit too far. I remember when I was young, sitting on the front porch, hitting a 6-foot bong and doing that type of craziness. This dude's got a full freaking hood over top of his head. It's not even just a gas mask, and he's hitting, I forget what this stuff's called. Do anything like that anymore. But he's hitting some stuff that is incredibly strong. So I would probably die from a hit like this, considering that I don't even smoke anymore.
That was going to be me if we hadn't sped up on the hash rate, because it was looking at 420 for the Bitcoin halving. So OC guy said if Bitcoin goes to 20K, we'll start a GoFundMe.
We'll start a GoFundMe. I did see that. Here also we have dozens arrested after halting the Golden Gate Bridge traffic for 5 hours. Now, what do you notice on each of these people, Army? I'm going to let you look at a couple of them. Okay, there's one. There was a first one already, but same thing. Okay, now let's take a look at this one. Okay, all right. Let's go with the next one. Let's see what this next person. Okay. Are you noticing a trend? Don't tell me the vest.
What, man? I gotta be nice. All
right, I won't put you on the spot.
It looks like a big majority of my wife's side of the family. From Washington State.
Got it. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. This one made me laugh too. Surprised my husband on a day off work. Oh, hey. Did you catch it, Army? There we go.
I did not.
Watch him.
Oh,
here, let me give it to you.
I saw it.
There we go. Oh, the wife's here. And now watch the guy at the end here. Watch him look over his shoulder here. Look, he's like, yeah, deuces. I am out. Oh, I love that.
Oops.
Keeps me entertained. All right, Crypto fam.
We all had that awkward moment.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the funny thing is, he very likely could have just been freaking ridiculous like guys can be sometimes. And he comes over, he's like, oh, let me have a seat, and just being stupid. And
hey, I will tell you the most homosexual things I've ever seen
in the military.
In the military.
All of it. We used to have a saying that was like, dude, it's not gay if you have boot bands on. Like dude, you can't even imagine that. Well, you can, the most ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Ridiculous. Yeah. Crypto fam,
crude, rude, and no limits.
Yeah, no limits, no holds back. That's for sure. Crypto fam, we love you guys. Make sure that you're following Army Piper. He is putting his time and effort into my show as well as his show and all of his cronies. So make sure to give him a follow, put on the bell notifications, do all of the things. Follow me if you're not already. Check me out on X. I've also got my new Telegram group that just not that many people in there right now. My little DGen group that I'm ultimately just giving out information on things that I'm personally involved with. So it's not just, oh, hey, somebody told me X, Y, and Z. It's actually something that I'm personally involved in. So check that out if you're interested in getting involved or more involved in the meme coin space. I love each and every one of you. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You could have been anywhere on a Tuesday, but you're hanging out with me and my boy, Army Piper. Army, thank you as always for being here, brother. I hope you have a wonderful day.
I appreciate it.
And Crypto fam,
I appreciate it. Givers Gain tonight. Billy Goat Tells.
Billy Goat Tells tonight.
Eastern Standard Time on X. Yes,
it is Tuesday.
I got it out there.
Make sure to visit Billy Goat Tales on X. We love you all. I need an outro. You came for the beard, you stayed for the crypto, and now we need to talk about like what that exit looks like. But I love you, and I hope you guys have a fantastic